Hi everyone, how are you? Just trying to get the good light. I think that's pretty good. Hopefully everyone can see the light in the background. Good afternoon. I'm not sure what you're all up to. Maybe you've been racing around, picking up and dropping off kids. That's what I'm up to this afternoon. I'm actually have one kid in one activity doing circus and the other kid in another activity doing drama. So I'm in between. So I figured it was really a useful thing to use some pockets of time. And it's actually the way I've built my business from the very beginning, is by using pockets of time. So today is no different to that. What I thought would be great to chat about today is the aspect of purpose that is a little bit more personal. So this one's all about you. Until now, we've been talking about purpose in relation to either your organization, or we've talked about purpose in relation to being more human and what our purpose is. And our purpose is all about building human potential. But today I really wanted to talk with you about you and your purpose at the most personal level. And I wanted to talk about how you know whether you are on purpose or not, and how you can notice in other people whether they're on purpose or not. And I think it's a really interesting topic to consider. And there's a few different hints that give you some sort of insight that you are absolutely someone that is on purpose. So normally when you see these kinds of people, you will see that they're really quite motivated. They might be motivated more in one area of their life and less in another, but in general, they have some pretty strong motivation because they know that their life is about living their purpose. And they know they only have so much time and so many hours in the day. And they usually, people that are aligned to some kind of purpose have a fairly big sort of view of life. So you'll often notice not only are they very motivated, but they behave in a way where they're very clear about what they want. And so sometimes this can come across even as a bit arrogant or a bit kind of too self-assured. But really the hint is that if someone's very motivated and they know what they want and they're going about living their life in such a way to create the version of the world that they want to live in, that is a really, really good set of signs and signals to you that that person is on purpose. If you think about the opposite, because sometimes it's fun when we're talking about a concept or an idea to flip it on its head and talk about the opposite. So if you think about someone who doesn't seem to have a sense of purpose and they don't seem to have like much meaning in their life or much focus in their life, and they might kind of be floating from week to week, and they might not really give too much thought or have too much reflection to why they're on the planet or what they're here to do or how they're here to contribute. And they kind of rock along and go to work and do their thing and come home again, but they're not going to be too engaged or motivated at work either, because they're going to be having this sort of mindset that the bare minimum's okay. So that's sort of the opposite. So if we go back to that person that you know is on purpose, the other things that you'll notice about those kinds of people are they're very inspiring. Very often, like, they're so inspiring because they have this energy about them, this way that they live life that suggests that that they know something that we don't. It's that kind of a feeling that someone has when they're truly living on purpose. The other thing to say about purpose is it's so absolutely different for everybody. For some people, their purpose might be focused on their family. For other people, their purpose might be at a global level. For some people, their purpose is about, being the best version of themselves each day. For some people, they might have an interest or a focus or a purpose in and around, being the healthiest version of themselves. So it really whatever your purpose is actually doesn't matter so much as the fact that you feel like you have one. And I think that's the trick. That's really the learning out of this whole conversation, is if you are someone who's kind of floating around and doesn't feel like you have a lot of direction, headed in a certain way, then I would suggest that you do a little bit of thinking and a bit of reflecting about why you think you're actually here on the planet. There's some really good stuff on YouTube that talks about the actual odds of you being born, and it goes through all the statistics and the data. I'll try and find the clip and post it below because it's really cool. It goes through all the statistics and the data and the odds of you even being on the planet. And it starts with the odds of your father meeting your mother. So what are the chances that your father met your mother? And then it talks about what are the chances, because every single millisecond it would be a different sperm and a different egg that joined together, and you either would be here or you wouldn't be here. So it goes through all of the chances to do with what are the odds of you being on the planet. So certainly in my view, there's absolutely no accident that we're here. There is a reason every single one of us are here. And I think that it's our responsibility to be able to connect with what our personal purpose is so that we can live that purpose out, possibly can. And the other thing that's so cool about purpose is a double-edged winner. And what I mean by that is focusing on purpose is fantastic for you, but it's also fantastic for people around you because they get to experience the best version of who you are. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about purpose, and I'd love to hear what you think your purpose on the planet is. Or in fact, if you have no clue why you're here or what your purpose is about, then I'd love to hear that in the comments as well. So thanks so much for being part of our conversation in and around purpose. And if you haven't watched this from the start, then I'd encourage you to jump on and watch from the start, because it's a really good conversation to get you really thinking and reflecting about what your role and what your purpose is here on the planet. So thanks so much for having a fun conversation this afternoon. And my purpose right now is to go between my kids' activities and then to head home and make dinner. So for me, it's a very family-focused purpose day. So have a great afternoon, and we'll chat to you later.